So when y'all see overt white supremacists, now the immediate fallback is to call them Antifa or, SPLC members, whatever the case may be, because that was trending as well this weekend. And you know what? MAGA, I'll let y'all have it. Sure. That's all Antifa. That's all SPLC. It sure enough is. How about this? Denounce the white supremacy.
No. Wait.
Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. My name is Reese Waters, and this is Racist of the Week, where we explore the stupidity and hypocrisy of discrimination and hopes we can build a more perfect union. And also laugh. As usual, I would like to thank today's sponsor, Racism. And of course, if you have any nominees, you can drop them in the comments. You can email me at admin@ReeseWaters.com. Today's nominee, again,
I want a name. Okay, I need a name of a single black woman that had something to do with America's founding. Go. I mean, I can think of didn't Thomas Jefferson have like half his family with out of wedlock with the slaves? I think isn't that historic? Anyway, that's like as close as I can get.
Hey, Benny Johnson, I got a better one for you. Name a black woman. Go. Nope, we're not taking Harris Faulkner. Nope. Candace Owens? Are we taking Candace Owens? Nope. Try again.
God is good. Amen.
No.
Wait a minute, Benny Johnson, aren't you the same one who went on that investigation of Jasmine Crockett where you were exposing her for being too educated? Remember that? You did that whole thing where you went and found her girls' school and tried to do a gotcha because, she was educated. Remember that?
This is where Yasmin learned to play clarinet by the apple tree on this beautiful campus of the Mary Institute St. Louis Country Day School. After graduating from this elite country day school, Jasmine Crockett was immediately accepted at another elite institution, Rhodes College in Tennessee.
Rhodes College is a private liberal arts school that looks like Hogwarts and costs a whopping $74,000 per year. That makes Rhodes one of the most expensive colleges in America. There are only 2,000 students enrolled at this institution, nestled in the rolling leafy hills of Old Memphis, and Jasmine, from the block, is one of them. But the elitism did not end there. Jasmine went on to attend and graduate from the University of Houston Law Center, where tuition runs a whopping $40,000 per year. In total, Jasmine Crockett's elite education cost close to $1 million.
So maybe that's it. Maybe they just too educated for you. You not at the level where you can even quantify and understand the contributions that black women have made. How about that? And here's one more for you, Benny Johnson. If there were black women, plentiful, making strong contributions to the founding of our country, would you know who they were? Were they giving credit at that time? Do you give credit now? But that was supposed to be a big. Hey, I got one for you. You ever heard of Marion Rogers Croak? You haven't? Well, she was the one that popularized voice over internet protocol. Yeah, she led you to where you are today. But you don't know nothing about that, do you? You ever heard of Dr. Gladys West? Huh? You ever heard of Dr. Gladys West? No, you haven't? You haven't? Yeah, she was the one that developed the math behind GPS. When Ashley Sinclair said you found your way out the closet, she was the one to help you find your way out the closet. You ever heard of Shirley Ann Jackson? Huh? Yeah, she was the one behind caller ID and call waiting. Yeah, she was the reason why you couldn't get through. Wouldn't nobody take your calls in high school? You heard of Marie Van Britton Brown? Of course you haven't. Of course you haven't. No. Home security systems. You know, the one that you said that you need since Washington, D.C. is Fallujah. Yeah. You heard of Lisa Galopter? Yeah, she's one of the computer scientists behind GIF animation. You know, the way that we meme you all the time, because you always embarrassing yourself. You ain't heard of none of them. So what we doing right now? Huh? Don't make me get Ashley Sinclair again. And by the way, it's a whole lot more where that came from. I'm going to drop some links in the description. Don't y'all worry about it. Shout out to Alice Parker, Janet Rita Emerson, Bessie Blunt Griffin, Flossie Wong Stahl, Lyda D. Newman, and Ree Huntley, Sarah E. Good, Valerie Thomas, Mary Beatrice Davidson Kenner, Ellen Eglin, Marjorie Joyner, Miriam Elizabeth Benjamin, Judy Woodford, Tahira Reed Smith, Olga D. Gonzalez Sanabria, Alice Parker, and Tanisha Hawkins. Huh? Yeah, Tanisha Hawkins. She was the one that rejected me from prom when I was in the junior year. She invented my villain origin story.
Emotional damage.
Now, here's what makes this so delicious. So, Benny Johnson, y'all might remember that whole Tenet Media scandal from a few years ago, right? Tenet Media was a right-wing media company founded by conservative political commentator Lauren Chen. They featured 6 right-wing influencers: Matt Christensen, Taylor Hanson, Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, and Lauren Southern. In 2024, the U.S. charged 2 Russian media executives in a scheme to illegally fund Tenet Media and influence it to promote Russian propaganda. The company shut down shortly afterward. Russian propaganda, you say? Like what? Tenet's content included coverage of illegal immigration, diversity in video games, supposed racism against white people, free speech, and Elon Musk, as well as climate change denial content. Well, would you look at that? So you mean to tell me that the Russian propagandists made sure to push content about racism against white people, and then you have diversity in video games as well? Huh. And yet here you are with the very same rhetoric. Huh. What are the chances? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna beat the allegations like that. That's a little too on the nose. That's a little too on the nose. And matter of fact, while we're on the topic, here's an issue that I've had with right-wingers and Republicans in general. Y'all need to pick a racism. Pick a racism. Are y'all going to be buttoned up and trying to argue about the merit-based society and we're using statistics and this, that? Is that what y'all want to do? The DEI argument? Or you just want to go just with that out front racism with no shirt on, just hanging naked on the timeline on X? Is that y'all got to pick a racism? Pick a racism, because the racism hanging out naked on X is killing you, Benny Johnson. It's killing your ability to formulate any of these arguments because they saying exactly what it was. Matter of fact, I got one for you.
Download. They gonna take my data, ain't they? Oh, there go my identity. I just really want to see what I'll look like as an alien baby. You know those apps and services you still use, even though you know they're probably harvesting your data. And that Sophie's Choice has to annoy you. You got to choose between giving up your privacy and going completely off the grid. I mean, completely. That is all done by data brokers, by the way, companies that take all the information they can find on you and sell it. Now, legally, they do have to remove your private information if you tell them, but they make it as hard as possible because they want you to feel hopeless and stuck. Sound familiar? This is where today's sponsor, Aura, comes in. They do the hard work for you, constantly scanning the dark web and submitting opt-outs on your behalf. Now, there are other services that offer this as well, but none of them offer as many features as Aura for the same price. You get alerts if your personal info is found on the dark web, 24/7 monitoring to help keep your identity secure. And if anything does happen, Aura includes $5 million in identity theft insurance. You can go to my link, aura.com/ReeseWaters. Again, that's aura.com/ReeseWaters to try 14 days for free. That's enough time for Aura to start scrubbing your personal info off these data broker sites automatically. And I want to thank Aura for sponsoring this video.
You remember when the Patriot Front came to march during the 250th anniversary of the founding of America?
All right, here we are with the Patriot Front in front of the Washington Monument. Hey, are any guys speaking up on the record here? What do you guys think of Kash Patel for FBI director? Anybody? What do you guys think of Kash Patel for FBI director? Anyone? Kash Patel? Any thoughts? Any of you guys able to speak through those face diapers? Kash Patel for FBI director, any thoughts? My dude behind the banner, what do you think? All right. Anybody? What do you think of Kash Patel for FBI director?
I don't know. Why?
I'm just wondering. I think it's a good question. You know,
I don't like the FBI. I think it's a largely illegitimate branch of law enforcement. And Kash Patel is probably, I don't know, I'm not really familiar with his background. He is Indian, though. I don't think Indians should be in charge of any of the departments of government of the United States.
So, you guys, if you haven't already seen, in the video that I made about July 5th, I talked about the Patriot Front and the white supremacists that came and marched into Washington, D.C. And you guys have probably already seen that photo of that sister on the metro train. That's what we call our subway, who was surrounded by these white supremacists, masked and, you know, full of swamp butt. OK, I'm sure you guys have seen that. Now, here's what really threw me about that. There was almost no condemnation that I saw of their participation in the 250th birthday of this country. That the MAGAs have characterized this whole time as being a celebration of America. It's a celebration of America. They demonized any liberal or left-winger who expressed any level of hesitance about this full-throated patriotic display, which we knew was going to be a hot mess because we have seen everything else that Trump has done up to, but not limited to, his birthday.
This some old bullshit.
And that tank crying for his life. We knew, based on how green the reflecting pool still is.
Huh? What are you doing in my swamp?
On how they handle any project. But that's aside from the fact that he has never done anything that he didn't make about himself. We know that. We know that. And again, MAGAs always pretend they talking to MAGAs. Trump always pretends he's talking to Trump. There are those of us with the capacity to remember and recall beyond 5 seconds ago. We already know the game.
You guys, I'm like really smart now. You don't even know.
But here's the mess. Y'all did all of that talking, all of that posting, all of that tweeting to try and paint any hesitance or objection to the Freedom 250 or the Great American Fair as un-American. But when y'all have Patriot Front white supremacists that show up, y'all don't say a word.
He's right, you know.
That's interesting. That's interesting. So I guess what I am to take from that is that would be characterized under American, huh? That would have to be characterized under American based on your lack of objection to their participation in the whole thing.
It's sad, isn't it?
They even went so far as to, and I use Laura Ingram's post as an example, go and call the whole display fake, where Laura Ingram said, I call fake, looks more like Antifa in costume. Nobody should be allowed to cover their faces. Well, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny about nobody should be allowed to cover their face. Hey, wait till ICE hears about that. Wait, ICE is not going to like that. They are not going to like that whole idea about not covering their faces. That's crazy. That's crazy.
You don't ask for experience, just show up.
But not as crazy as this. So let me get this straight, MAGA. So when y'all see overt white supremacists, now the immediate fallback is to call them Antifa or, SPLC members, whatever the case may be, because that was trending as well this weekend. And you know what, MAGA, I'll let y'all have it. Sure. That's all Antifa. That's all SPLC. It sure enough is. How about this? Denounce the white supremacy.
No. Wait.
Denounce the white supremacy. I don't hear y'all. That's wild. So let me get this straight. When you see the white supremacists, you call them leftists and liberals, but you won't denounce the white supremacy. You won't denounce the Patriot Front. You won't denounce the Proud Boys. You won't denounce the Yahtzees on the bridge in Ohio. You'll try and divorce yourselves from them, but you will never call them out. And tell me why you wouldn't feel comfortable denouncing a group that you knew was full of leftists and Antifa. That doesn't make any sense.
This doesn't make a lick of sense.
That doesn't make any sense. And you know what else doesn't make any sense? I did a whole video about a week ago about the Cornell kid who posted that he didn't want to work for a Jew, which dominated X, had founders of Palantir weighing in, had people from the administration weighing in, had wall-to-wall coverage on Fox News for 18 hours. One kid making a statement to one employer. But the Patriot Front came to the mall for American 250, and y'all didn't say a word.
Yeah.
Your parents are naturalized citizens and you're born in America, you're still not
being
American?
a citizen doesn't make you American either. It's a natural thing.
What's natural about being an American citizen?
Well, nationality is a natural thing.
Okay, so my ancestors are half Italian, half Irish.
Yeah?
Do they count?
Why are you shaking?
Huh? I'm cold, dude. I just skateboarded like 8 blocks.
Skateboarded over here?
Oh, yeah.
Good stuff. So people of European nationalities, of the European race, can become American. India is not in Europe, though, so they cannot.
What about
Because nations are intra, right?
Okay.
So nations are a collective of humanity which exists within racial collectives.
where does Europe end and
So
the
Europe
Slavic states begin? What about Russians? Do they count?
Russia, Eastern or Western Russia is in Europe. Yes.
So what about the steppes? Like Iranian, does that count? Does Iranian count as white?
Iran is not in Europe. No. Yeah.
It doesn't count as white. What about Turkey? Istanbul?
Turkey is not in Europe either. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about like the Balkans? What about
Balkan countries are in Europe. Yes.
Okay.
I love this. It's
Georgia?
lesson.
How about Georgia?
Georgia is on.
Can Georgians be Americans?
I would say geographically, Europe ends at the Caucasus Mountains, and I believe Georgia is on the right side of the Caucasus Mountains.
What about Muslims who are from Spain?
Muslims who are from Spain. So the organization does not accept Muslims, no matter what their racial or heritage might be.
Okay, so white Muslims not allowed.
No. Yes.
You got to check all the identity boxes.
Well, yes, I believe it's a foreign religion.
So your group is based on identity politics.
Stop! He's already dead.
We recognize identity as a part of the human experience, which is necessary to the proper structuring of government. Yeah, absolutely.
It sounds like you have something in common with Joy Reid on that.
I don't know who that is.
Joy Reid, MSNBC host.
Okay. Well, I probably have opposing views on what I believe is the proper identity and heritage to build up the country than she does.
What about Caribbeans, like native Caribbeans who moved to America? Do they count? That's not Europe.
No.
Like Tortola. What if you're from Tortola, part of the Commonwealth?
Okay.
And you come to the United States.
Tortolan immigration. Yeah, I think we could do without it. Yeah.
What about Australian?
Well, Australians are European. It's a nation of the European diaspora. Yeah.
Okay, but there are white people in Tortola too. So there could be Tortolan, but they have to be white Tortolas.
Speaking specifically on Tortola,
yeah.
I think if somebody comes to Patriot Front and they say I am Tortolan, we'll look at them further.
Okay.
For your sake, just to make sure we're not
now
missing anybody.
What's the vetting process here? Why does everyone have their faces covered?
Anonymity is a political right which we exercise because
course.
people seek to harm those that they don't agree with politically, and also it's a matter of letting you focus on the message. Anonymity has a long history of practice in the country.
Like the KKK.
No, like the Sons of Liberty, like the Boston Tea Party. Benjamin Franklin, Alexander Hamilton all wrote under pseudonyms for a time. Thomas Paine, Common Sense, written anonymously.
Then he came out public.
What was that?
Then he came out public, he did.
Yeah, well, I'm here in the public. You're talking to me? Thomas Ryan Russo, nice to meet you.
Okay.
Cool.
Thomas, nice to meet
Nice
you.
speaking
I'm
to you.
Richie.
Richie, nice to talk to you.
Richie Mick Guinness.
Mick Guinness. Good
Yes,
stuff.
Mick
All
and a
right.
Guinness.
Good stuff. And have fun with the skateboarding, man.
Thank you.
Now, help me here. Because the fracture that you see on the right wing can be deduced down to the mainstream MAGA, Trump and the Mark Levins of the world, and the America First MAGAs, right? The Nick Fuentes and I guess the Megyn Kellys and the Candace Owens of the world, right? So let me ask you this. How are you going to beat the Israel First allegations like this? How are you going to beat the Israel First allegations like this? I don't understand that. I quite frankly don't understand that. And let's stay in that pocket because y'all, by y'all I mean the red hats, try to sorry about that. Got a phone call. Did y'all happen to see the photo of Senator Mark Kelly enjoying the World Cup in his Mexico jersey, surrounded by Mexican fans? And the MAGAs try and use that as some sort of indication of his divided loyalty. The fact that he was enjoying Mexico playing with Mexico fans. We don't fly foreign flags in this country. There was a lot of we don't fly foreign flags in this country. Y'all had an Israeli flag on the mall. during the Great American State Fair. On July 4th weekend, the 250th, as Trump said, the biggest birthday we've ever had, you had an Israeli flag on the mall. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right, Kristen. And the Confederate flags, too. Yeah, and the Confederate flags. You're right about that. You're right. Hey, Confederacy. You know what? I shouldn't even apologize to y'all because I forgot about y'all, because y'all took the L. So you should prefer that I didn't even mention y'all. Y'all took the L. Y'all like the people below the fold when we do the elections. You just don't want nobody to scroll down. You should want to be forgotten. Honestly, you should want to be forgotten. I don't know how you beat the Israel First allegations like this. Like you're not giving nobody nothing to work with. You're really not giving anybody anything to work with whatsoever.
But wait, there's more.
Some folks have gotten so in the bag, and this is where I get to my point about explaining away your racism or choosing your racism, almost like choosing your character. Remember the video game, you pick your character. Y'all got to pick your racism. Y'all got to pick your racism because I understand why you would want to divorce yourself from the Patriot Front when they show up like they do. Not just because they were full of swamp ass, neither. That's one reason why you want to. They look like they stink. That was one reason why you want to divorce yourself from them. But the other reason is because that kind of overt racism flies in the face of the society that we see that you tell us doesn't exist. They are giving us the evidence for the society we have claimed has been here all along, that y'all want to divert attention from. So I understand why you would want to divorce yourself. I understand that. But your inability to denounce it is damning. Almost as damning as the folks that not only saw it and didn't denounce it, but went so far as to defend it. And I know how crazy that sounds, that somebody would be so in the bag for racism to defend white supremacists showing up on the mall for America 250, but they did. They did. It's always a shift in narrative, is it not? It's always a shift in narrative. So the new narrative is, well, she wasn't touched. What happened? She wasn't touched. She was safe around all those men. She wasn't touched. Right. So whatever that did emotionally to be surrounded by them, given the history that you disavow, is, of course, to be ignored.
Right now, this picture is going viral of a black woman sitting on a train surrounded by members of the Patriot Front. This woman was able to sit on that train and nothing happened to her. Nobody said a single word to her. Everybody kind of kept to their own. Nobody laid a finger on her. She was able to get on and get off at her own entrance, and nobody did a single thing to her. The same thing with their protest yesterday. They weren't going around harassing people. They didn't hurt anybody. They didn't leave any litter. They weren't screaming like banshees, causing a public disturbance.
Are you sure about that? Okay, now that we've debunked that lie, let's go back to the beginning and talk about this picture right here. So essentially, your stupid fuck argument is that this moment is totally fine because she didn't get assaulted. That's really what you're saying, right? Let me give you an example as to why this is a stupid as shit opinion based on something that might actually resonate with you, because I know you're into the whole Israel thing. So I'm Jewish, here's my Star of David, here's my Yiddish tattoo, just for proof.
And if you put me on a fucking train, surrounded by a bunch of Nazis who I know deep down would love nothing more than to end me, I'm not going to forget that shit. I don't care if I'm assaulted or not. That is traumatic as fuck. So you sound like a fucking idiot when you go, well, they didn't assault her, and they didn't throw litter on the ground as they were stomping around Washington, D.C., screaming they want to reclaim America for white people, then got on a train and surrounded a black woman and made her fear for her life. That's all fine. Where did you go wrong? And by the way, just totally an aside, the way you talk is incredibly frustrating. You sound like a monotonic robot. How about some emotions? They might help you out one day. Maybe you'll have a bigger following.
And it was a whole lot of juxtaposing with that poor immigrant woman in North Carolina who lost her life on the bus. A whole lot of that got posted. Which is fascinating because she's exactly the kind of person that y'all would want out of this country. But because she was victimized by a black man, you see an opportunity to weaponize it. So now that's what we get. If you can't have a consistent frame of reference for source of comparison, we can't have a conversation. You can't have a conversation with somebody where they keep pushing the goalposts, but that's what y'all want to do about the state of the damn country. You know, I'm like, y'all, you want to claim that you are reacting based on who we have shown ourselves to be, without taking responsibility for who you have shown yourselves to be. That doesn't work. And then you want us to ignore your president posting schoolgirls and objecting to them wearing hijabs. You know, it's funny. What was it that they said about the Patriot Front when they were on the Metro? They didn't bother anybody. Oh, but those schoolgirls did, though, huh? Those schoolgirls certainly did. And what was it that they did that was so objectionable? They exist. That's what they did. They exist. Well, now we can talk. Huh? I don't know. It becomes very difficult to continue to formulate your argument for the continued suppression of certain communities when your president is posting Obama graffiti planes. Yeah. What he did that. He did that. Your boy's killing you. I'll tell you, your boy's killing you. I'm gonna be dead real with you, man. Your boy's killing you. All these cases, y'all, it's not rocking. It's not rocking. It's really not.